Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafiq Ulazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Good call again. The type of managing that both managers kind of came into this game with. Highest leverage to your most trusted arms. The 2-1. Lindor towards right center field. This one is back. It is gone! Grand slam! And Lindor puts the Mets on top. The biggest swing of the season for New York. Tying run at the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! The incredible turnaround by the New York Mets has taken them to their first National League Championship Series in 9 years.
Infield up for the Royals, of course. Here's Stanton.
Hit through the middle. Boy, they just cannot handle Stanton. And it's 3-0 Yankees.
Williams poised, can't hit, rebound Smith, another chance for Minnesota. Williams, connect, plus the foul, a chance for 4, and a play that may live forever in WNBA history. Tied at 93, slight difference game in shot clock. Williams bounces in, Collier fading and hitting. Has to get it in. Finds Stewart for the tie, misses the layup, and Minnesota with a miracle Game 1 win, 95-93.
Yeah. Up and down in New York sports, and welcome to this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk. I'm Rafiq Ulazon alongside Ryan Walker. How you doing tonight? Before I even ask that question, let's just start off with the positives because the Yankees finished off the Kansas City Royals 3-1 by winning 3-1 in Game 4. Aaron Judge finally had an extra base, but Garrett Cole was pitching one of the best games of his life. So, what are your thoughts about the Yankees getting the series win against the Kansas City Royals?
Nothing, just taking care of business. Normal stuff. This is where they expect it to be at this round. The Kansas City Royals are a very good, tough, scrappy team with Junior. They got Tommy Pham on there, who has a lot of postseason experience, champion as well, I believe. Their pitching staff is good. They're well managed. They had a big turnaround this season, and they gave us everything that we definitely can handle. They're a good ball club, very scrappy. We it's good pitching all the way around if you really think about it, bullpen wise for both teams. We had one, when we lost Game 2, Carlos Rodon was good in that game. He had 7 strikeouts. He just had one bad inning. Plus there was an error here where they scored 4 runs and we just couldn't hit or get guys with runners in scoring position. We still haven't hit like how we normally expect to. Hopefully that'll change soon. But the starting pitching and the bullpen is what got us through. Stanton had really big hits for us in the series when it counted. Judge had some good at bats today, so I'm happy about that. He's swinging the bat better. He was seeing the ball better. He drew a walk. He had a double, stole a base. So I feel like he'll be getting into a groove and they'll be fine. But without sounding too overconfident, it's just literally taking care of business. This is where we expect it to be, and we're not content neither. We want to get to the World Series. So, one game at a time, one inning at a time. They took care of their business and they moved on, and we just wait for the win of Cleveland and Detroit, 2 good teams. And go from there. Now they can set their pitching rotation up again, get guys rest, put people in position. And at least we know that regardless of who the opponent is, this series starts in New York.
Yeah, it's amazing. The Yankees. The games were kind of back and forth between the Kansas City Royals and New York Yankees. Obviously the Yankees fought tough as nails to win Game 1, and They didn't really have much of an offensive show in their game too. But the pitching came step up in the wins of Kansas City, and that's something that you need like to start building a new dynasty in the Bronx. Garrett Cole been 7 innings, gave about 6 hits and 1 ERA. Only struck out 4 batters, but you know what? It's just enough to get the win. I mean, obviously, Carlos Stanton was stuffed up to the plate. Torres and Soto managed to get some big hits, and those pretty much the only runs you had for the New York Yankees. And like let's not forget, they were literally inches away from tying the game. So yeah, you can say the Yankees kind of lucky break.
Win in advance. So you call it what you want, but win in advance. That's the goal, and that's what they completed and did. And whether just barely or whatever you want to call it, they advanced, and we have another couple of days to get rest and set up our rotation, and we'll be at home to start the series, to put ourselves in position to do that. If the bats ever wake up completely, that's bad news for everybody else in the Major League Baseball, not us. So they've done what they had to do in regards to advancing. That is the goal. It doesn't matter if you do it by half a run or 100 runs. The goal is to win in advance. They did that. They can set their rotation up and set everything up again. We need a couple more guys to get into rhythm at bat-wise. But pitching is what takes you far in this postseason as well. And we've done that. The starting rotation has done their job. Schmidt gave us an excellent start the other day. And we were able to get a win, and Cole was good again today. He was very impressive. So, and like I said, I like Rodon in his start. So I'm fine with what we got. We set up the rotation, and we look forward to playing either Cleveland or Detroit. Yeah. Two good teams that we respect, but we like our chances against any one of those teams we want to play, and to try to get to that next round. And these are, that's the big reason that, in the offseason, they're going to have to pay Garrett Cole, and they're going to have to find a way to retain Soto. But that's a whole different conversation, a whole different other realms for another time. So Yankees advance, and, I'm happy for 2 hours, but that's it. We've been here before in this type of position. Now they have to find a way to punch through the door to get to the World Series. And then that's another mountain to climb after that.
Yes, it is a mountain to climb, no matter who they face in the next round. And since we mentioned it's going to be between the Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians, I mean, which team would you much rather face in the ALCS?
It doesn't matter. My man was asking me that earlier. It doesn't matter. First of all, like I always say, postseason baseball is very, very scary, very unpredictable. Sometimes you're literally at the edge of your seat, pitch by pitch, inning by inning. Detroit is pitching very well right now, just like we are. So they might not be as offensively gifted, but as you can see in the postseason, you don't have to sometimes be the most offensive superior team to advance. You just need quality pitching, and so their pitching is very, very good. That's something the Yankees would have to pay attention to. If we played them, we would have to keep up just as good as pitching as they are, which we've shown to do so far from the starting and the bullpen. But they would have to wake up, with the at-bats. We would need Judge to keep that groove and keep going. We want Giancarlo Stanton to stay locked in with what he's doing now. We need more from Verdugo. We need a little bit more from Jazz Chisholm. Our catcher, who's done a great job, God bless him. But we need some hitting and some production from those guys too, in order to make it a little bit more easier. If we get that rolling, we're sharp. So Detroit is a heck of a battle. Now Cleveland might be a little bit more offensively gifted than Detroit, but then again, how much does that really count? Because that shows you how good Detroit is pitching, and Detroit had a chance to win the series today. Correct. So, and that didn't work out. They're going to a Game 5, them in that Dodger series. So, Cleveland is a good team. They can score runs. We have a history I know they're pretty upset. We've had our success in them in the postseason the last few opportunities, especially I don't think that was last year. Was that the year before?
No, it was 2 years ago. You barely beat them in the ALDS in 5 games. You barely
Yes.
beat the Guardians, and I believe there was a 2-game wild card series back in 2020 when they had like a little expanded, like the extra expanded 12-team playoff, 14-team playoff, whatever during COVID. You swept. I mean, you had to come back for 2 games. I mean, you beat 2 games to one that year.
So you always put barely next to us. We barely won the series. We won the series. That's all that matters.
And how can we forget when they came back from 2 games to defeat the Cleveland Guardians? I mean, back when they were the Indians in 2000,
Indian, right?
in Aaron Judge's first ever playoff appearance. How can we diminish that? So at this point, either we continue our dominance with the Cleveland Guardians, or we're trying to get that elusive first playoff series when it gets the Detroit Tigers, because the Tigers have owned the Yankees. Let's be real. I understand the roster's different from back when the Tigers owned you guys during the Derek Jeter days, but yeah.
Who, the Tigers?
Yeah, the Detroit Tigers, they're 3-0 against the Yankees in postseason history. I don't know if you're aware. They beat you 6, 2011, and 2013. So, yeah.
Yeah, they had some times here and there when they were okay. I think we might have had some times once or twice where we might have beat them, but from what I remember, they've had a little bit more success with that, and that's fine. But hey, listen, we're in position now.
Last time Detroit Tigers and the Yankees had a playoff, it was Derek Jeter's last postseason series ever of his MLB career before 2 years prior to his farewell tour in 2014, and a year prior to Mariano Rivera's farewell tour. I don't know. Well, obviously, you follow baseball long enough to remember that as a hardcore Yankee fan. And part of me, I mean, as somebody that goes hard for New York sports, probably wants retribution for the Detroit Tigers from back in the day, just so the Yankees could finally get a historic postseason win against the Tigers.
100%. So,
by the way, that's some good food you bought. Oh yeah, that's some good food you're eating down there in Long Island.
Yeah, I had to get a little something while we do our little show here. So, hey, listen, win in advance. That's the goal, right? They did it, and thank God. Let's see what happens on Saturday between the Guardians and Detroit, and hopefully we'll be able to set everything up for next week and try to see what we can do.
Yeah, but that's one team advancing. Now on to another New York team in Queens. As obviously you know, the Mets are back at NLCS for the first time since 2015 after winning against the Philadelphia Phillies 3-1, courtesy of a crazy grand slam by Francisco Lindor. And then, look at how we smacked up the Philadelphia Phillies. The same New York Mets team that we said we counted out after they were 11 games below 500. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word up until the 5 weeks. I'm saying word right now. Get ready. Because we're combined 8 victories by the Mets and Yankees away from a World Series rematch in 2000. So what you thinking about the New York Mets right now? Does that narrative of them winning the World Series changed a bit from everything you said back early in the season?
You got a lot of extra energy when it comes to talking about those lovely men. Oh, the Yankees just barely won. Oh, the Mets are there. Listen, listen, God bless them. I'm not a hater, bro. I
never said you were, but you gotta get praise due to the Mets. I mean,
they're playing good ball. They beat a Phillies team who I picked the Mets to win the series. Do you remember what we said last week?
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Oh, okay. So
New York owns Philadelphia. Let's call it the way it is.
Right. So well, I picked the Mets because I knew that the Mets were actually just a little bit better. I was just hoping that the Phillies would catch that buzzsaw and start hitting. But they've been up and down all year with that, and the Mets throughout the season have actually played better against Philly and Atlanta. It clearly showed the end of the year. They're really hot. They're playing good ball. They have the most comeback wins all year with 44 in baseball. The Mets are a team that you need solid starting pitching. You can't play around with them, and you gotta make sure that when it's that you gotta get 27 outs with them because they have a propensity in the seventh inning on to find a way to come back and fight back in games, and they believe. They're confident now. They're playing well, and that's amazing. And listen, nobody. I want it to happen, but I don't want to talk it up so bad because they're both one round away from making it 24 years since to have an opportunity to be a Subway World Series, which would be astronomical for New York. Money-wise, everything-wise, the hoopla, the buzz, the city would be so divided between the Yankees and the Mets. It would be a trivial time. If we play, I'm of course going to want them to win. So that one will be an interesting series for me. But it'd be good for New York if it could happen that way. I'm pretty sure Mets fan base want to try to redeem themselves from the 2000 because we won the only Subway World Series in the history of whatever been played with the MLB. Yeah, and we would love to. I would love it too because, for a Yankee perspective, it would be great if we can get 4 wins against the Mets in the World Series to kind of redeem the 4 wins that the Mets had in the regular season and say that it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. So you can have those as long as we get 8 more wins. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, we just focused on what we're going to do. God bless them. They did a good job. They're hot. They're playing good ball. And if anything, all respect to all teams, because anybody in this postseason can win the World Series that is left. But they'll probably have a tougher uphill battle to getting to their success, whether they play the Dodgers or the Padres.
And that's
and the Padres and Dodgers, I think both teams will have home field, I believe.
Yeah, either way, the Mets have to go to California for games 1, 2.
So they only had 2 home games in the last 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? With their road trip before the season ending, and then the 3 in Milwaukee and Shastar from Philadelphia. So God bless them. They get some rest. There's some guys. They've got good pitching from Servino. They got good pitching from Quintana. All the guys who showed up and done their job. And they're playing good ball. They really are. So we'll see what happens on that New York side. The Dodgers and Padres got to figure that one out too.
Yeah, the Padres and Dodgers series has been insane.
Nuts. It's crazy.
every time you take one, every time you think the Dodgers are gonna breeze through the series, the Padres bounce back. And every time you think the Padres are gonna breeze through the gold games, the Dodgers bounce back.
Yep.
What do you think is gonna happen when you have a series with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Ohtani? You can't get past that. You just can't. But either one of those guys is gonna be a tough out for the New York Mets.
100%. It's gonna be it'll be good. No matter who it is, it'll be good. The Mets are up for the challenge. I know they feel confident against anybody they play right now. So we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. But it's kind of tough to pick out it too because Ohtani is having the best season that any baseball player could come up with 50 plus home runs and 50 stolen bases.
Unbelievable.
And on MVP. So at least I'll give him the nod for that.
Oh yes.
But Fernando Tatis Jr. and the type of team that the Padres have 2 years ago, they were in the NLCS against the Phillies and they beat the New York Mets in the NL wild card. So we can't dismiss that either. So it's going to be tough getting through California to get to New York. But you know what? We as Mets fans, we got to be up for the challenge. And I'm sure Patrick's up for the challenge too.
You can't tell, y'all already won the World Series. So, listen, God bless, man. They're playing good ball right now. And they got, no matter who they play, it's going to be a tough matchup. And when you mentioned Padres, had success 2 postseasons ago. Pretty sure the Mets will have that in the back of their mind. And the Dodgers have been the have the best record in baseball all year. You know what I'm saying? And virtually, you know, the best team, I guess you can say, but, you know, potentially, like you said, the best player in baseball, depending on what week you want to look at it, because one day you can say Aaron, one day you can say Otani. But Otani, one of the best players in baseball and having one of the best seasons ever in baseball. So Mookie Betts, they have all the guys on the team as well that do big time for them. So the Dodgers would be the better team with the Mets, but the Mets always traditionally have done so well against the Dodgers in postseason in general. And I know they're not afraid. They're ready for the challenge. They went up there and have competed against them this year. So we shall see. You know, the Dodgers also have a propensity to get to big crucial spots and fail. So, but the opportunity is there for New York teams to possibly be into something and do something special.
Yeah, and you know what? If the New York Mets or the New York Yankees do end up seeing each other in the World Series this year, one of those teams will become the next. If that happens, one of the New York teams will become the next major professional team to bring a championship to New York. Because I don't have any confidence in the New York Liberty after they blew that game against the Minnesota Lynx. I'm gonna let you talk in a minute because I gotta give them a pep talk because this is ridiculous. You up 18. You were smacking them up in the first half. You let Minnesota come back and beat you in game one. What was that, New York Liberty? What was that? Courtney Williams hits a 4-point play when you were up by 3. Brandon Stewart, drew a foul, had a chance to win the game on 2 free throws. She only makes 1. We go to overtime. Fine. Overtime, Minnesota's pretty much dominated us up until Jungle Toes got a steal on the fast break, laid it in, game tied. Brandon Stewart blocks Courtney Williams to shut her down after she was literally torturing Liberty all throughout the late seconds in overtime. Fine. I know
it was risky, but they should have challenged on that play too because she did hit the ball out of bounds last. But nevertheless, go there.
The Fisa Collier hits the game winner, 8 seconds left. Fine. But then Brianna Stewart, she tried to go for a transition layup, and it didn't even hit rim. How do you? I get it. Minnesota has the defense. They have the role players. They have everything.
You got
Minnesota Lynx have historically had success in the WNBA Finals. We've been coached by Cheryl Reeve. I have a lot of respect for the Minnesota Lynx and what they built in 2010s. They restore that winning tradition. They have a chance to restore that winning tradition. They're 2 wins away from doing that.
No.
You know what? Go ahead. Just go ahead because I need to calm down. Just go ahead.
They were up 18 in the first half. I watched both games. I was going back and forth with the Yankees and the Liberty. The Liberty started off so hot. So it was easy to watch it at first. But, you know, you got an 18-point lead. You got to finish off that game. And then you got a 15-point lead with 5 minutes on the clock. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. You got a 15-point lead at home with 5 minutes on the clock in the WNBA Finals. Like, you have to continue to keep putting on baskets. Sometimes they get complacent. I've seen them do that before and get like teams back in it. And, you know, this happens. You cannot do this with this team. I don't want to say this and I don't want to give up faith, but they're in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They must win Sunday to even split. And now you have to go win a game in Minnesota. Otherwise, you never come back to Brooklyn. And it's not going to be easy to win down there. The Liberty always do this to make their lives more difficult. And when you had that team down by so much, you got to capitalize and win that game. Now you've given them a second wing. You've given them confidence back again. And they're going to play with Church's money. If they can find a way to go 2-0, I mean, they're in trouble. They got to split. And 24 hours ago, I felt really confident to say that they would win the WNBA Finals. I don't know anymore. Sunday, they have to win. Otherwise, they're in trouble. And, Jones has only signed a 1-year deal.
I think it's a 2-year deal, but go ahead. Actually,
Is it 2 years? So she's there next year regardless too?
yeah, I believe so. I believe that's a contract deal. But yeah.
You can't losing twice in the finals is not good for your mental psyche. And then it's going to be harder to try to get back there 3 times. You know what I'm saying? And see, last year, the Liberty, as much as they wanted to win and could win, can take that loss because the Aces were better than them. They knew that, and the Aces were the champions, and they had a more sturdy team, more depth, so they were primed to win it again. So you can take that because you know that they were the better team. This year, the Liberty have played the best ball for the most part for the whole year in the WNBA. And you just have to win that game, especially with the deficits that you had. Now, mentally, they have to replenish that, and they have 2-3 days to wait to play again, to do that uphill battle where you now have to make sure you win that game and not get into a close, tight one and start getting nerves. And listen, I love Bree Stewart, New York. I'm a big Bree Stewart fan. You got to make those free throws. You make the second end, as pressure as it is, we're probably not talking about a scenario. You're up 1, and Minnesota has 0.8 seconds to try to get a bucket up. Michelle Williams makes another shot like that. God bless her. You know what I'm saying? We shake our hand. But you got to make those free throws. Because now, and then let me tell you something about the last play. You might call me crazy. As they battled back, the Jones steal and everything, you down 3-point-something seconds, let me tell you something. Shoot the 3. I would rather them shoot the 3 and try to go for the win because you don't want to have to go to another overtime. You understand? To do this and do all that stuff and go that way. She didn't take the 3. She elected not to. And that layup, you got to finish that. You got to go strong with your left hand. Bree, you better than that. Or if you go right-handed with it, you can't she overshot it hit the other side of the glass and came off. So
this is word to the Courtney Vanderpool shot.
Right. At least Courtney's a little tiny guard. Bree, you like 6'4", 6'5". You know what I'm saying? That was a tough loss for them. And boy, Liberty, if y'all ever gonna need 22,000 fans to support you on Sunday, now's the time because that was a horrific loss. And if they lose this series, game 1 is where it all happens. And if they can't recover to come back and win this series, that one is going to haunt them for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, just like the loss against the Aces last year haunted us for a long, long time until we finally took them out in the semifinals.
Right.
We avenged that loss. And Stephen A. Smith said it best on his podcast. You can't finally get retribution of the Aces and then lose to the feats of Collier and Courtney Williams.
But Sunday for them. I still have my heart with them. I still believe. But that was not a good loss.
Definitely not a good loss. Let's just listen to some of the post-game comments from tonight's loss. Let's just listen to it.
Box score? Do you have any box scores?
First row to your left.
Stewie, obviously it was not the outcome you guys wanted.
Yeah.
How do you regroup for game 2 with so many emotions, I'm guessing, for that game when you were up a lot, down, came back, all that stuff that went on in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, we just take it on the chin. We were up a lot. Then we had a wild kind of sequence to end the 4th. Didn't start overtime great. I had a great look at the end, and I didn't make it. But I think that this is a series. And we wanted to really win, obviously, for home court. But the beauty is we have another game on Sunday, and we'll be ready.
Next question, second row to your left.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, a game like this, full of emotions. I mean, just do you have, obviously fresh, but is there one or two things that you could point to saying, hey, if we do this or that, that result is different?
Yeah, it's probably a lot of things. I'd probably give you a better answer tomorrow, but I just thought it went away from our principles of play. But, I think we had a great first quarter, and they lifted up the energy, and they out-hustled us. I think we forced some of the action. We weren't moving it good enough. We couldn't get downhill as much. We missed a lot of shots. So just the principles of play for us, how we want to play, get to the next action. But look, defensively, I think, they executed better than us. That's what it came down to. They executed better than us. They found a way to win. They made some big shots, timely shots when they needed to. But so we're disappointed. I mean, we have to be better. We're a better team than what we showed today.
Next question, first row to your right.
Stewie, for you, John Quill had a double-double in this game, and there's been a stat about whenever she is a double-double, you guys win. I guess I'm just curious why you thought you weren't able to get it done with the performance that she had, and how do you all, I guess, help her better in game 2?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear, like, JJ had an amazing game, and the way that she was aggressive from start to finish is exactly what we need. I think that we got a lot of looks, like 90 shots is a lot, and we missed them. And I think that just coming out and understanding the game plan a little bit better, and always being on our front foot, I felt like there was just a few situations, time and score towards the end of the game that really hurt us. But I mean, collectively, there's a lot of things that you could kind of look at and be like, well, this is one of the reasons why we lost.
Okay. Post-game reaction, what you thinking about?
Another thing that I wanted to point out, and I've seen them do this in the season sometimes too, against it. I get it because we do it at a high level. Sabrina can knock down the 3. Phoebe can knock down the 3. Jones can knock down the 3. Bree can knock down the 3. Laney's well capable, can knock down the 3. Courtney Vanderstoot, well capable, can knock down the 3. And we got some girls that can shoot it. Thornton can knock down the 3. But we fall too in love with that line. And we're up 18 and all these different points, and they're lucky they were getting off all these offensive rebounds, and they're just continuing to shoot the 3, dribble drive, give it in the paint. You have Jones with a matchup, dump it down in the post. Tell Bree to get down there in the block too. Face up, so that you just don't always rely on the 3, and now you can get more open looks so you can get back into your rhythm. But because they couldn't knock down the perimeter shot and they kept living and dying with it, especially in the last 5 minutes, you can't, in football, sometimes they have that saying. They say when you play prevent defense, you're preventing yourself from winning the game. And in the last 5 minutes, it's like they were trying to push the clock to go away. But you still got to play. You still have to add on buckets, and that was the whole scenario right there. That they have to answer that in the second half. If they were dribble driving a little bit more, then it's better. They got to get to the free throw line more. Good defense or not, you got to force it and be aggressive. When you have 18-point lead, you have the opportunities to do those. She's right. You got another game Sunday, but that's a tough one to recover from. It's going to be a long 48 hours until the next game, so you can exercise that demon, or have an opportunity to exercise the demon.
Yeah, and let's be fair. If you listen to my interview with Sneaker, with this dude named Travis Singleton for Sneaker Report, I got the Liberty winning in 4 games anyway, minimum, maximum 5 games. This series has that potential, but I was at least expected to protect home court advantage against 1 and 2.
And you might have to change that 4 to a 5. Because it seems like, well, the only way the Liberty is going to have a chance is by winning a road game.
Mm-hmm.
To bring it back potentially to Barclays at some point. If they go down there and split, per se. If they go down there and sweep, then that's a difference. We're talking about a champion now, but it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Let's listen to some of the comments that what the Minnesota Lynx is saying about this victory, because you could tell when I was listening to the post-game press conference, it was a lot of excitement on their end.
Yeah, every game I try to go out and impact defensively, especially, when they're going on a run like that. They have amazing offensive players. And so trying to be as disruptive as I can.
Next question, front row center.
Nafisa, speaking of your defense continually, how do you put yourself in your mind for moments like when you are defending Breanna Stewart, when you have to be aggressive, when you know that they're going to be physical on you? What does your mind go, or how do you put yourself in the mindset to be able to not only retaliate as far as being physical as well, but also maintaining your composure and your poise in those late game situations?
I think it just goes in preparation. Like, our coaches do a great job of preparing us and, playing tendencies and just playing defense. I mean, again, they're great offensive players. They're going to make plays. I just have to make it as hard as I can.
Next question, third row to your left.
Yep. Courtney, right here. Where does that shot rank for you, the 4-point play in your whole life when you made that shot and then also making the free throw? And now that you look back on it, both you, Nafisha, and Cheryl, where does that shot rank for you and witnessing that moment and her making the 4-point play?
I don't know where it rank. I mean, it's one right now because we here. I like to be where my feet is planted, so it's one right now.
I'm just happy she made a clutch free throw, because if you go and look, that's why we put her in the stats. So that helped her a little bit. Clutch free throws, that was good. Hey, and I wonder, those 5 assists, is that one that you threw to Sad? Does that count?
Yeah. I'll mess that up.
Next.
I'll mess that up.
Yeah, after listening to the comments of the Minnesota Lynx players, there's Nafisa Collier, Courtney Williams, and Cheryl Reeve. What you got you thinking about?
Another thing I was pointing out that I have to remember from the X's and O's I was watching the game. It was something that it wasn't about the offensive rebounding, the 3-point shooting, and I pointed that out. There was something else they were doing that just wasn't smart. Well, they definitely have to improve at the free throw line. They have to be more aggressive to get to the free throw line, and they have to put themselves in a position where everything is just not the 3 ball. And Minnesota did what they had to do. Oh, that's what it was. Oh God, I mean, as a basketball announcer and a little head coach doing coaching job too with Team Underrated, and it's just a scout, a person watching the game. That possession that he got the 4-point play, I was just absolutely disgusted. Sabrina, if you don't stay home on your player, on your assignment, which was Michelle, whoever it was, and you go down to try to get the rebound, and you scramble between the young lady, she got the board, and they kick it out. By golly, you already left your assignment to go get a rebound. And sometimes guards do gotta go help and rebound, but sometimes I wish guards would just be damn guards. Let the big girls down low worry about that and figure out the rebounding. You still gotta stay home because you down 3 points. What was it, 3?
You were up. Literally were up 3 points at that point.
So you down 3. So what's more important, stopping them from getting the layup 5 feet or guarding the 3-point line? One of y'all missed an assignment there. Both of y'all down there stripping for whoever for the basketball. Then if I was on TV, I was just trying to push her to the 3-point line to say, stupid, go back and recover. Forget about the basketball. She shoots a layup there. She makes it. You're up 1, you inbound. No, you leave the shooter open. Then you're running at the shooter 5,000 feet. Come on, guys. We know how the game of basketball is. You have to give these shooters room. Anything with anything to even, you shouldn't even have been in that position to put yourself in that position, And I was just like, oh my God. And it's not the first time she's done that before. Like, why are you fouling the shooter? You know how it is. They try to do it to you. You have to be smarter than that. Let her, if she shot the 3 and make it, by golly, but you shot the 3 and you gave her the free throw with the foul from there. So that was just terrible defensive execution on that play. I know they're going to look back on it. You look back on it later. You're just going to be like, oh no, like four bad things happen. The shot goes up. You leave your man. All right, you're trying to help down low to get the rebound and be scrappy. The big fella gets the rebound. She doesn't even recover right away. She gets it. She turns. She pivots. She then looks and finds William. And then you're still in the paint. Then you recover out to the shooter. You give up the 3. Then you give up the foul. I mean, there's just so much wrongs there. And they got to figure it out in 48 hours, man. Otherwise, it's going to be good night, Irene.
Yeah. This loss makes me sick.
It's a disgusting loss. It's a disgusting loss. It makes this is
worse. This is worse than when Cody Williams hit a game winner off the Olympic tree back in 2021. And it was my first Olympic game I went to as a spectator, by the way. This is worse than that.
Yeah, this one stings.
Courtney Williams long way to New York.
Yeah. Sunday for them.
This Sunday is it. If you lose game 1, you lose game 1, you lose game 2, you lose the series.
Yep.
But let's just get to some positive news happening in the WNBA. As this week, Captain Engelbert announced that the same WNBA Finals that we watch is a best of 5. A year from now, we think about a WNBA Finals best of 7. We see a lot of 7-game series in the NBA. How about a WNBA Finals best of 7? As starting 2025, the WNBA Finals will expand to 7 games. So
I love it
about that.
I think it's good. I wish we could have it this year. But
then the first round, we're going back to the 1-1-1 first round format. You know that type of first round format that we've had, but like early 2010s, prior to 2016. After that got snuffed out for the single elimination games from 2016 to 21.
Right.
So, yeah, we're going back to that first round format starting next year as well. But getting back to that, what do you think that format for the WNBA playoffs in the future is going to do for the WNBA?
I think it's good. I think it's better. It'll make it more competitive, and it gives more margin for error, especially for, like, even a series like this. You know, if this was a 7-game series, that loss still hurts, but at least you know you got more of a ground to have an error. Literally, the Liberty season literally is Sunday. Before even thinking about another games after that, their season is Sunday. They lose, they pretty much can wrap this series up. So, but that new format is great because it's competitive. It gives everybody more of an opportunity, and it's good for the sport. They need it. They're at a point where they can have it like that. They definitely need it.
Yeah. Let's be honest. You think they should have had this type of format earlier for the WNBA Finals? Because women's sports is hot right now.
No, it's probably it's good timing on how exactly it happened, because economically the game has changed. You know, Caitlin Clark has changed that for them, and just popularity wise and team wise with many of the teams. You see how the Aces, Las Vegas supports the Aces. You see how the Liberty fans support the Liberty. Many of Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of programs that are really supporting the WNBA and the players and the economics have went up, and they're making more money with it. So now it makes more sense to showcase them more. You know what I mean? I think it's perfect timing. It's good timing.
Yep, definitely it's a perfect timing indeed. On to some other announcements that happened earlier today. The WNBA draft lottery is announced they announced it's going to take place on November 17th. The expansion team Golden State Valkyrie will have the 5th pick in each of the WNBA draft rounds next year. We're on top of the Los Angeles Sparks, Dallas Wings, Chicago Sky, and Washington Mystics having a chance to get a number 1 pick. And if they win the lottery, they're going to draw Paige Beckers. So the build up to the Golden State Valkyries begin. Oh yeah, and also they have a new head coach. And it's an assistant from the Las Vegas Aces. We'll get more to that in a minute. When you think about the Golden State Valkyries having an expansion draft and having a number 5 pick in next year's draft.
It's just huge, man. It just shows you the growth of what's going on with the WNBA. It shows you the growth, and they're taking all the right steps in the right direction to just legitimize and solidify what direction the WNBA, the W is going, and everything that's with growth and change is good for them. So it's big time for the whole way they're doing this form of the draft and the lottery.
Yeah, and to add on to the conversation, as I mentioned earlier, the new coach for the Golden State Valkyrie next season will be Las Vegas Aces assistant coach, a lady named Natalie Nakasi. She was assistant coach for Las Vegas Aces, making her the first Asian American coach in WNBA history. Talk about a story for the start of a new franchise in WNBA 2025.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So if you thought Golden State Warriors was hot during Stephen Curry's days, imagine how hot the Golden State Valkyrie is going to be, even with the color purple and not gold. Yeah, they call it the Golden State because the Bay Area is literally the Golden State.
Right.
And that's pretty much. All right. Now let's get some NFL talk as well. Obviously, we have Week 6 coming up. The New York Giants looking to build off of their win against the Seattle Seahawks. And you were right all along. We picked the Giants to beat the Seahawks. So what are you thinking about that win after what we talked about off the air?
But I told you it was going to be a nasty win, and it was good. I mean, oh man, the Giants, they're such a roller coaster, and I'm still going to lean on it. I know I can't get it, but they really should be 4-1 right now. The Washington-Dallas game is just driving me crazy. But you know what's so crazy? I don't know how to say this. They're not that good, but they're not that bad. They're actually, well, first of all, defensively, they're amazing. They're leading the NFL in sacks right now with 22 sacks. Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and the crew are just absolutely. I mean, they were in Geno Smith's jersey last week. Okay, they absolutely antagonized that guy the whole entire game, and they've been playing, excluding the Minnesota game. They've really been getting after the quarterbacks and making attacks and plays on it week by week, and their corners are playing. They're gonna get one more of the corners back. To get that victory without Neighbors and Singletary was big time, and that's another reason I keep talking about that Washington loss, because if that was the case, the Giants could have been 3-0 on the road. We're 2-1 right now, so maybe Daniel Jones needs to play on the road maybe more than home, because his numbers for some reason are just better on the road than the home. He's actually played pretty respectable football the last 2 to 3 weeks. He was actually really decent and really good last week. And they got a big time win. They went down there, and then, like I said, look how the up and down season goes. They got the first drive. They're driving down the field. They get all the way to the 1 yard line, and Gray fumbles the ball in the end zone. The defensive player picks it up and runs 101 yards for a touchdown. Like, you can't make this up. Okay.
And later on in the day, when the Seahawks have a chance to tie the game on a field goal, it gets blocked, and you return it for a touchdown that wrapped it up.
Correct.
Talk about full circle mode for the New York Giants in just one game.
Unbelievable. So they took care of business. What you call it was really good. Tracy, their running back, the young kid, he was really, really good. Ran for 100 and change. Darius Slayton made a lot of big plays, a lot of big catches at over 100 yards. They got Wandale Robinson involved. Now you'll have Neighbors back. You'll have Singletary back. I picked them to lose to the Bengals, but that's why sometimes we go week by week, we're changing again. They can win this game this week. The Bengals are 0-4.
The Bengals are 1-4 actually.
They're 1-4, right?
Yeah, because that one win against the Carolina Panthers, but then again the Carolina Panthers stink. So
they stink.
Surprising.
Hey, listen, we can get the Bengals. We'll be at home, and here goes the crazy thing. The Bengals don't block well for Burrow, and we attack the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He could have. I know this week he's rubbing his fingers, and he's probably going to take all the linemen to dinner because if they don't block for him, they're going to kill Joe Burrow. I'm telling you this right now. They're going to kill that kid if they don't block, and we've been attacking the quarterback. So,
yeah. And while I wanted to talk about the Seattle Seahawks, they continue to lose their ways as they suffer a Thursday night football loss to the San Francisco 49ers, 34-24. Gio Smith threw for like 312 yards, and that wasn't really enough.
2 tough losses. Wow. Well, we got these NFL picks.
Yeah, two tough losses. Brock Purdy threw for about 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, which is literally more than enough. And yeah, the game was pretty much over when George Kittle made that 5-yard pass for Brock Purdy, even though the 2-point conversion failed. And of course, you had like the 6-yard run. Yeah, and of course, you had like the little 97. Well, the Seahawks did have like a 97-yard kickoff return by Lavikas Shenotti. I'm not even going to bother to pronounce this person's name, but yeah. But obviously that wasn't enough because, one of the main highlight, Deebo Samuel Sr. caught a pass from Brock Purdy for a touchdown in the second quarter. So, this is a big win for the San Francisco 49ers to improve to 3-3. Talk about bouncing back after a tough loss to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yikes. Yeah, big time. That was a tough loss. Kyler Murray was crazy on them. But it was a good win. They needed to bounce back with it. They needed because the Niners haven't really been playing up to the potential of what they expected to in the first 7 weeks.
Yeah. Now, let's get to our picks. Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against Chicago Bears. And
Bears.
It's going to be in London, by the way.
9:00 start, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Bears.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals on the road against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Who you got?
I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna go with the hot hand, even though Jordan Love and the Packers won last week, they played well. I'm gonna go Cardinals with the upset.
Okay, that's fair. Colts on the road against the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay. New England Patriots at home against Houston, Texas. Texas has been stupid hot. I'm going to pick Texans on this one.
The Patriots are trash. The Texans are going to beat the crap out of them.
New Orleans Saints at home against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Saints don't have a loss yet, right?
They did lose to the Eagles.
Right, that's right. That's on TV. My mind's telling me the Saints, but I'm gonna go. He said Saints playing who again? Who they playing?
Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Tampa Bay. No, but Tampa Bay won, and the Eagles were missing some players, but Baker Mayfield still was good. You know what? I'm gonna go with the safe bet. I'm gonna say Saints. I wanted to pick Tampa Bay so bad. So, but I'm gonna go just to be safe. I'm gonna go Saints.
Yep, we're gonna play it safe. All right. Philadelphia Eagles at home against the Cleveland Browns. This is pretty much obvious. Come on now. I'm picking the Eagles. Yeah, this is pretty obvious. And it's the battle. It's a battle of DMV football teams. The Washington Commanders on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. And Daniels is having a hell of a season, but will that carry to both Baltimore? Even though Baltimore have had some losses, the fact of the matter is, M&T Bank Stadium is a tough place to play. So, do you see the Commanders picking up the wins, or will the Ravens get this one?
I like Washington in this matchup, but as a Giants fan, I need the Washington to lose. So I'm gonna pick Baltimore to win.
Okay, that's fair. Denver Broncos at home against the Los Angeles Chargers.
I've got a lot of upsets this week. I'm going to go Denver Broncos. Go Knicks and them.
Okay, that's fair. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against Las Vegas Raiders. In Vegas.
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Detroit Lions on the road against the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Come back to me on that one.
Carolina Panthers at home against Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are competitive. I'll pick the Falcons this one.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta's actually playing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. New York Giants at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know we picked that one and you picked the Cincinnati Bengals to win that one, but yeah, obviously there's that narration page after the record they shown.
Yeah, I should have. It's hard for me to do it, but I got to go against my pick. What I did, I'm going to pick the Giants to win this football game.
Yeah, and anything can happen in sports. That's all I got to say. Now, on to the Monday Night Football matchup, the New York Jets at home against the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills. And let me say this and let me get this in too, because I had to call my other guy. The Jets should be ashamed of themselves.
They fired their coach, Robert Shell. I know.
Yep.
I know.
They're damned. Remember, I said this. They will not win anything this year. They will get 9 wins the most, maybe 10, and they will go home, whether it's first round, whatever round. But they
are trying to work on getting Devontae Adams in a trade. They're one of the top teams to get.
Who cares? They can get Jerry Rice. They can get Moss. They can go get
Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. See how they coexist when they were in Green Bay.
I don't buy none of that crap. Okay? Because here goes the real. It's still early in the football season, so they can turn it around. Robert Saleh has been there for the last 4 to 5 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's never had a winning record there, right? Mm-hmm. Mathematically. But he's been there. He got to the Jets when they were pissed, and they're trying to rebuild it. He's never had a consistent, stable quarterback. They've worked on the offensive line for the years. He's always had young, fresh, raw teams, right? You bring him there because he came from San Francisco because he was a defensive coordinator and he was a defensive genius, right? Which he might go back to that job, so who knows? He's there as the head coach. He's done his part because the main part that he's worried about consistently is the defensive end. The Jets are not struggling defensively. They're playing. The problem with the Jets in the first couple of weeks of the season is their offense.
They couldn't score against the Denver Broncos, and they lost against the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
They had a chance to win that game though, but not really.
Rodgers has not played well. I told you it was going to take time with them to gel, to get the offensive line together, the chemistry, the timing of the receivers. It just doesn't happen overnight. And sorry, Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback. You will go to the Hall of Fame. You're a Super Bowl MVP. You won a Super Bowl. That was a long time ago, what I keep saying. You're a 2 or 3-time league MVP. You're a stud. You've won Jeopardy. I get it. But, brother, you're not Tom Brady.
Ooh.
You're not that guy that can play in your 40s and still play at a high level. You are actually digressing and regressing, excuse me. And now you see why Green Bay finally made that choice at that time to move on. They didn't pay him anymore. They paid him a lot. They went with Jordan Love. Does Jordan Love look good?
Yeah, he does look good.
He looks damn good. Damn good. And they moved on for a reason. And Jets fans, Rodgers comes here, they give up the house. Fourth play of the season, he tears ACL. I said it doesn't matter how good he is. If you don't put an O-line to the block, it doesn't matter. They all thought that once he got there, Super Bowl, that's it. We won. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. And you fire the guy who's a defensive guy, and he did his part. It's the offense that's struggling. You brought Hackett there because he's comfortable with Rodgers. You took away the calling from Hackett. The other guy now is calling the plays. So if the offense is the problem, why he's the scapegoat? Everywhere Rodgers goes. When he was at Green Bay, they would undermine Mike McCarthy. Oh, Mike McCarthy wasn't the one helping us to win the Super Bowl when he was there and this, and that. And he goes on the press conference. He was cynical at Green Bay too. Go ask about the receivers that weren't fond of Aaron Rodgers. There were many of them that they couldn't get on the right pace. He's too much of a prima donna. It's about him. And Robert Saleh is not there because of him and Hackett. You know what? Saleh should have resigned last year when he seen that coming. He should have known that the fix was in. And they fired the guy week 5. So if they stink the rest of the year, or if they're not good, then whose fault is it now? Who gets the blame?
Aaron Rodgers.
He's not that same guy no more. He could play, but he's just not that same guy. Okay?
I can't debate with you on that one.
He's 40-something, and you're gonna have to figure it out. You're not that boy, man. And this is how bad it's been the last 2-3 weeks. Daniel Jones has played better at quarterback the last 2 weeks than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, do I need to say anything else? Daniel Jones played better the last 2 weeks than Aaron Rodgers. Right now, not including the Bills, between the two New York teams here, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones been quarterback. That's bad because he's done good. And when I seen it, I was just like, oh my God, they used Robert Saleh as a scapegoat. And I told my man, I said, that's why you're not going to win. That's why you're not going to win. And then here goes the final decision. And then I got to make the Dallas pick after this. The other thing too is, I don't care if it's Joe Burrow. I don't care if it's Tua Tagovailoa. I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if it's Rafiq Louisson. I don't give a damn who it is in the AFC. You don't go nowhere until you talk to Patrick Mahomes. That's it. No quarterbacks in the AFC. You don't go nowhere until you talk to him.
Patrick Mahomes has been killed there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's just go with the way it is. Come on.
They might win again. Dallas, Detroit, who got the home game?
Dallas.
Dallas is bad. I'm sorry. I would usually never pick them I would usually pick them to always beat Detroit. But I like the Lions, how they're playing good football. They show they can do that, beat the Cowboys and so on and so forth. I'm going to take the Lions. The Jets should be ashamed of themselves. It's absolutely disgusting. They beat the Patriots and Tennessee. Unbelievable.
Do you haven't beaten the Buffalo Bills?
No.
I'm going to end it right there. In this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk, thank you for stopping by, Ryan Walker. We had a lot to rant about. The Jets and the New York Liberty losing game 1.
Unbelievable.
We had a lot to rant about in this episode.
Let's go Knicks.
And I could talk about the New York Knicks, but we'll leave that for another time.
And let's go Rangers. Start the season. Yeah. Islanders won, but that's more about, I'm a Rangers fan. So. Team Compound, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I see now this lost to the Utah. They don't have a name. They don't have a name, but they just call it the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah, that new team. And a lot of offense down there. So yeah, big shout out to my people's at Team Compound, my man Keith and them. Solo.
Concrete jungle where trees are made of.
That's right, bro. Give me that good apparel. So I got it. I'm gonna cool out this weekend. Maybe go watch some ISA. Take it easy. Have no events till next weekend. Thank God. I got another thing I'm doing with Showtime Hoops. Either next Friday or next Sunday. And then the week after that, Crunch Time has a nice little event at Uniondale High School that we will be covering. I'll be down there for that. So that's it, brother. Just here setting the work and gonna finish up watching movies here. And we just did a show. Always thank you for having me come on and talk and rant. And it's a lot of things brewing in New York right now. So it's up to you, man. Rafiq, shut it down.
For Ryan Walker, Rafiq Louison, we'll see you next time.